It's a week-long awareness campaign to raise awareness about hunger. Community members are challenged to live on $4 a day per person for 1 week, or $28 per person, which is the average food sample allowance.
I think the biggest challenge is going to be shopping based on price instead of based on what I actually want to eat, the foods I like.
I think the biggest challenge will be to A, not accept food from people, and B, preparing food throughout the day.
I'm going to say fruit. Fruit, I think, is generally expensive, and I like a good smoothie every once in a while. That, like, treats, to treat myself to, like, coffee.
I think the biggest challenge for spending $28 a week on food is going to be being at school and not being able to get the snacks and the vending machines and at the little stores, because they're a lot more expensive than they would be at regular grocery stores. And I'm always hungry in between classes and want to go get like a water or Gatorade or some peanuts or something, and that's really going to throw me off.
The purpose of the Hunger Challenge is really to raise awareness about issues of hunger and food insecurity. So it gives community members an opportunity to experience for 1 week firsthand what it's like to live in a home where you have limited money for food. So $4 is the average food stamp allowance. So families that are utilizing the food stamp program, even though it's intended to be a supplemental program, for a lot of families this is all the money that they have to spend on food. So they really are having to live on $4 a day for their food. And so the idea is that, one, it shows solidarity with these families and shows that we're here to support them and do what we can to make change, and also it's a way to generate awareness and hopefully some momentum so people will speak up and be part of that change. So the rules of the Hunger Challenge, first and foremost, is you have $4 a day for all your food and drinks, and so that's $28 for a week per person in your family. So we're a family of 3, so we had $84 for the week for all of our food and drinks. The second rule is that you can't accept free food from friends or family. If you have a garden in your yard, you need to price out that food. And if you go foraging for food in the community, just keep in mind whether or not most urban poor have access to that. And the reason for not accepting free food at work or from friends, and the reason for having to price out food from your garden, is because most urban poor don't have friends and family that are able to give them free food all the time. Most of them aren't at jobs where they get free lunch or coffee and bagels, and most of them don't have the space to grow a garden.
It starts with serving meals. That's something we've done for 30 years. We'll progress to where we have a shelter for women and children that opened 7 years ago, a resource center that I was talking about earlier that serves a variety of needs, both for folks with mental disabilities, just the need for various resources in the community that would help them get off of the track that they're currently on that is, in most cases, very unhealthy. We provide a weekly pantry where people can come and basically shop for a certain number of items each week. That's available to them. Historically, we'd collected 10 or 11,000 units of food, a can, a box, or whatever. And in the time that they've been doing that, it grew from 15,000 and now almost 50,000 units of food are collected every year. So it involves a lot of people, a lot of students in particular, but the fact remains is that food donations are a significant part of what helps us along. There are certainly families. And again, these numbers are not consistent because day to day it changes. We average serving on a day in, day out basis probably 400 meals a day. Among those meals, I would say 15 to 20% are probably families. There's another 5 to 10% that are really, truly young people like yourselves who, for whatever reason, are on the street. I would say 19 to 24, 25, that age group seems to be a growing number in terms of how the folks we serve.
Probably as of right now, we have anywhere between like 60 to 70 guests, and primarily it's about, I would say, 85% adult male, and the other 10% being adult female, and the other about 5% are families. We do several things for them. They have a place to stay, which is safe and secure because we have the drug enforcement policy, the background check. They're issued clothes, they can use the showers, they have their own bunk area with nice sleeping materials like blankets and comforters. They also work with our service coordinators, which you met when you came in, which is Becky. She is one of our service coordinators, and we assist in providing resource information on how to get SSI potentially, if they're suffering from some kind of mental illness and they need the proper direction on how to go into behavioral health. We also direct them to the resource center, which is very close by, in hopes that they can find employment if that's possible. But the idea is to come here and provide them with some emergency shelter with the hopes that we're able to kind of reinsert them back into housing and into stable living. You can be from Chico, you can be from Santa Rosa or whatnot, just passing through over the next 4 to 5 years. And so be able to kind of spread the message that there's homeless in every city in the United States, and especially here in Chico, and that just to bring that to the forefront and to understand that we don't turn down any help, really.
I think it was really eye-opening like I said, how privileged we are to have access to all these foods that other families, they just don't have. And when I was getting ready for the challenge, I was having...
Mommy, do you have a little pen?
No, this is the only one. Not second thoughts, but feeling like, oh, this isn't as healthy for my daughter to put her on this diet, and then kind of thinking about that and thinking, like, who am I to deserve this healthy food, and these other children and these other families don't have that, and it's not a week-long thing for them, it's their life every day. And it really made me want to speak up more and make a difference, because it is really hard, and you're not living at your full potential when you're hungry, or when you're not getting the nutrients that you need, and just how much of a burden it was on our everyday life. Do some families not have as much money as they need to buy the food that they want? No. What do you think that would be like if we didn't get to buy the foods that we wanted? We'd be sad. Do you think that's okay for some families, for that to have to happen? No. What do you think we could do to help?
Give them some of your bracelet, and then get a new one.
So maybe give them my Hunger Challenge bracelet that we got?
And maybe you can get a new bracelet.
A new one? And what could we do to help so they would have enough food?
Give a not hunger challenge bracelet.
Give a lot of Hunger Challenge bracelets?
The Hunger Challenge was very similar to the way I grew up, where typically we would have 2 meals a day, and a lot of times there would just be repeats of things. And so, for example, what I did for the week of the Hunger Challenge was, on the first day, I made a pot of beans, and then I made sure that I ate dinner out of that pot of beans every single day, and then I would just augment that with something else. And that was the way that I grew up, is that we would have one meal at the beginning of the week, and then you would eat from that meal for the rest of the week.
Participated, myself included, putting things on social network sites about how hard this is and how tough it is for people to live on this, and how wrong it is for people to be hungry, and to try and tap into people's values of caring and equality and fairness and decency. And so I think getting that word out with social networking sites, I also think some of it is person to person. Any of us who participated in the challenge, when we have a conversation with people, to mention that we did it and it was a good experience, and sort of talk that up with others.